don't belong in school. Yet, that's how the University of Texas is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the mass shooting, the 1966 terror attack of Charles Whitman. Now, he wasn't a terrorist in the same way that we think of terrorists today. He wasn't a radical Islamic terrorist, but he was a mentally ill 25-year-old student who climbed to the University of Texas clock tower with a trunk full of weapons, and he became the first mass shooter of modern times. He gunned down over 40 people. Now, do you see the irony in this? They are celebrating on the same day that they are commemorating the memory of the people who died. They are also enacting the Texas law that was passed in 2015 that allows students to carry guns, concealed weapons, on campus. Like, duh, does anyone see the contradiction there? We're worried about, we're commemorating, memorializing, weeping over the people who died on our campus, and yet now we're allowing more guns so that more people can die on our campus. Like, this is a college. They're supposed to be smart there, and yet they're doing this. Well, actually, it was the legislature who did it. Now, what's sad, I mean, this guy was abused. He was physically abused by his father throughout his childhood. He had a very dysfunctional childhood, as is typical of mass shooters and, of course, terrorists, as we've been seeing in the recent terrorists like Omar Mateen and the truck driver in France. And, you know, in each of their backgrounds, there is some kind of psychiatric problem. So, at the University of Texas, they're not the only state to pass this kind of campus carry law. There's also Colorado, Utah, Idaho, and 5 other states who have already passed these kinds of laws. And it is a giant mistake. If students are carrying guns on campus, they're not going to feel safe. They're going to be afraid all the time. They're going to be, even though they, you know, it seems ironic, why shouldn't they feel safe if they're carrying a gun? But they realize other people, other students are carrying guns all around them. It's like a saloon, but it's a college campus. And so there's going to be more fear. There's going to be less ability to pay attention in class, and they're not going to be worried about their homework. They're going to be worried about carrying guns to school. Did they bring enough ammunition? And where does this end? You know, is it going to just be college students who are going to be allowed to carry guns? What about high school students? What about middle school and elementary school? Are they going to ask their parents, the elementary school kids, can I bring my BB gun to school because my brother or sister is bringing a real gun to their college campus? I mean, this is outrageous. The only people who should be allowed to bring guns to school are security guards, and that's what we need more of, security guards, not putting the responsibility of protecting themselves and other students in the hands of students. I mean, I can't believe I'm having to say this. This should be so obvious to everybody, and yet, look what we're having. Now, I know what you're thinking. I must be one of these whacked out anti-gun lobbyists. No, not at all. I believe very strongly in the Second Amendment. I'm very concerned about those people who want to take the right to bear arms away from citizens. However, I do not think that guns belong on college campuses or any kind of school campuses, except in the hands of security guards. So I think the University of Texas should be ashamed of themselves, enacting this campus carry law at the same time that they're memorializing all the people who were killed by guns. Guns should not be allowed on campus. This whole thing is a tragic irony.